Oh, hey there, everyone. I'm going to do a little special way of streaming my Cup Series for this race. The reason I haven't live streamed any of the Cup races before is because of the length of them. Being as lengthy as they are, it's kind of hard to have a standalone live stream for them, but I'm going to try it tonight. Try it today. I've got plenty of time, so hopefully the game cooperates and it doesn't crash. That's the one thing I've been the most worried about, is if it starts to crash on me while I'm doing a live stream with the Cup series. Well, I guess it's actually a 500-mile event, so my description will be lying a little bit, but we don't mind.
Favor, just touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Hans. Just make sure you get everything like you want it.
In my Cup series, I am still riding about 160 race winless streak. Willpower has been dominant all year. And of course, willpower starts on the front row yet again. No surprise there. To make it more interactive, I am hosting share screen on Discord. And this will be a long, lengthy race, so I mean, if you're tuning in now or if you're tuning in later, we're going to have some good racing here in the Cup Series. Green flag waves, and it's Tyler Shangle and Will Power charging out front here. You got Kara Carl peeking in behind in third at the moment. Will Power takes off to an early lead here. Most of you don't know who is in the Cup Series. I haven't done a whole lot of broadcasting for it this year. You got the two Aero McLaren cars at the back right now of Lando Norris and Pato O'Ward. Hey there, is this Gavin?
Hi.
Hey Gavin.
Yeah, here, let me join your stream. Did you start yet?
Yeah, it just started. We're on lap 2. I haven't got a whole lot going.
Alright, let me find the stream again. Announcements.
Most of the drivers I'll help you with, because you'll not likely know most of the drivers.
Yeah, or do you have like a roster thing up that says like the drivers?
The point standing, if you look at the point standing.
Yeah, I'll just do that.
I'll send you. As you can see, our race leader at the moment is Will Power. All the way out front here. We got Carrot Carl running in second. And the teammate to Will Power with Austin Cindric running in third.
What track is this?
Pocono.
Oh, yeah, I just saw it. I was like, oh.
Next year we've got quite a large crew coming in from the Bush and the trucks that'll be racing in the Cup Series next year.
Nice.
This is where I call home in the Cup Series here. Currently I'm running about 15th at the moment, right there. 19th.
Man, you have like a, how much winless streak?
It's about 160 winless streak at the moment.
It's crazy.
I don't know how I'm gonna fix that, but hopefully soon.
Let me hold on. I'm gonna rejoin the stream so or the voice chat so I can see the stream because there we go, it loaded. I heard that there was a sold-out crowd in the infield, at least for camping. Might have been in the stands too.
Yep,
a lot of fans at the Tricky Triangle.
Have
you ever ran the? There's a road course version of this.
Yeah, unfortunately, that one has a bit of AI. I haven't found the one that has good AI on it.
Yeah, mine has good AI. Mine's fine.
Nice.
Hold on, let me rejoin the chat. Hold on. There we go.
So everyone that's new, evidently just about everyone, if they'll be watching this, is new to the series. The regular season for the Cup ends after Pocono here. And instead of a playoff system, we've got what would be double points for the remainder of the season. So every race is double points to finish it out.
And there's no playoffs, so it's kind of like, how does it work? Is there just double points and everyone is like has a chance for the championship?
For the most part, yes. Once you get the first race out of the way, usually that's when people start getting eliminated. So the next race after this, we'll figure out who gets the most points, and then we'll have enough people pointed out that'll be eliminated from contention.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's basically how it works is like in the last race, whoever has the most points kind of wins.
Yep. Kind of a throwback to the older style of points. Except there is a twist with the double points. You get, someone that has a bad spell of races, especially in the last 12 races of the season. Will Power, who has about 500 and let's see, how many points does he have? It's right there in the standings. 621 points. I did the math. If Will Power finishes dead last in every single race in the last 12 races, he would lose 850 points. So someone could still make up 850 points, while Will Power currently has 621. The guy that's in last place has 2 points. It would be, very unlikely and have to have a lot of bad luck. But everyone's still mathematically in for one race into the playoffs of my.
Yeah.
Let's see. The 76 car is.
So this is race 32 of 45. Alright. Because I was wondering how much races you have.
Yeah, it's kind of an extensive season. I've got 44 races in total. And next year I'm not sure what I'll have, but maybe less than that.
Is the next race in the in the Busch Light Series and the Xfinity Series? Is that the regular season final?
There's 2 more. There'll be Bristol and Daytona for them.
They got Daytona's last one last. Oh, dang it. I gotta go with dinner.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for tuning
Okay.
in there for commentary.
Yeah, maybe if when I'm done eating, I'll maybe be back.
Alrighty.
Alright, see you later. Bye.
Yep. Take care. Last night with my dual stream with Tyler Aspinall, this kind of helped give me a little bit of confirmation on doing longer streams. Having dual commentary with him last night was really cool, and looking forward to more opportunities like that. Usually I wouldn't live stream these cup races because they're so heinously long. I usually just turn them on and sit, no commentary, just let them play out, but going through the field here with Will Power and Austin Cindric at the front. We've got IndyCar regular Joseph Newgarden running third, Kara Carl running fourth, Casey Kane, who's retiring at the end of this season, having a solid top 5 at the moment. Then we got Aaron Rapp, Jacob Roloff, Tyler Shangle, Jimmy Johnson, and Clyde Coker to round out your top 10. Monty Shangle running 11th. Then we got Colton Herta, Roger Lutz, number 64 of myself, Alexander Rossi in top 15 there. You got Scott Dixon, Larry Lusk, Nelson Chacon, Rick Quick, Alan Taylor, Dalton Scott, Rocky Lang, Elizabeth Shangle, John Roman, Jimmy Gokachia, Jordan Roman, Justin Roman, Ken Roxon, Bob Leader, Paul Wilkins, Ian Hawkins, Greg Forian, moved up a couple spots to 32nd at the moment. Stephen Keith, Travis Charpentier, Brad Keselowski, and Pocono usually has some of the most historically dangerous wrecks. A lot of drivers that have got kind of beat up from wrecks here. One year, Davey Allison way back in 1991, I want to say, tumbled and missed several races due to bruises, and a lot of cars that have flipped and tumbled here. The length and the speeds they get up to, the straightaway being the front stretch is one of the longer straights in the NASCAR circuits. Going into that first turn and then coming back out on the backside, there's always a lot of opportunities for them to lose control. There was one wreck in particular, Elliott Sadler hit so hard that the black box that told how much G's it busted it. I don't even think they were able to record how many G's his impact caused. So yeah, Pocono's definitely been a treacherous track when it comes to usually not any fatal wrecks, but really gnarly wrecks for sure. And based on my game, for the way they run here, there's usually a handful of cautions in each race. So we have a new second place. Joseph Newgarden at the moment got by, as well as Kara Carl. They both got by Austin Cindric. Looks like Aaron Rapp into fourth as well. So looks like Lando Norris is still taking up the rear of the field. Paddle Awards gained about 5 spots, up to 36 at the moment. The whole spectrum of this series is going to be flipped upside down for 2023. We have a bunch of drivers that'll either be retiring or leaving altogether. Then we'll have at least a class of 12 rookies in 2023. all part of the ladder system with my trucks and Bush series, moving everyone up to the Cup series. It's been doing good. I would say Willpower's got the championship all but in his name for 2022, but anything could still happen in the final 12 races, even with double points. If he has a stretch of bad races in the playoffs, he could get bumped out of the overall top position. Currently 1/10 of the way through the race. We're on lap 20 of 200. Green flag pit stops here usually come around lap 40. It runs pretty close that it almost turns into a gas mileage race at the end of it. They go about 40 laps, so it'll be a perfect 40 on their last stretch if there's no cautions. Our top 5 has changed up a little bit here. You got Willpower and Joseph Newgarden, but now you got Aaron Rapp in 3rd, Tyler Shangle in 4th, and Austin Cindric in 5th. Kara having dropping back to 6th at the moment. Monty Shangle's up to 8th. Looks like I'm sitting in about 12th back there. So we got a lot of movers coming to the front here. Looks like Cindric's going to get by Rapp, Tyler Shangle, and Monty Shangle making moves to get into the top 5 here. Looks like Greg's still moving up through the field, having started deep in the pack. He's already up to 29th. Ken Roxon also on a move here. John Roman has a larger winless streak than most out there. His winless streak dates back to 2011. And having started just about every race in between, his winless streak is at 507 races. So still looking pretty good in the top 15 at the moment. Better than what he's done before. I currently sit 300 points behind Willpower for lead position. And with the double points races after this one, our top spot will pay 70 points instead of 35. So that would be about a 5-race stretch to make up 300 points if Willpower finishes outside the top 15. Kind of settled out single file here at the moment. Jimmy Johnson's found his way into 6th. Good run from my dad there in 4th place. Looks like Monty's about to get 3rd here. Joseph's going to fight on the outside, so not quite. Aaron Rapp's hung up high there. And we got a swap for the lead here as Austin Cindric charges around Willpower. As long as Willpower fails to win more races, that's good for the rest of the field. However, his teammate Austin Cindric does sit 2nd in the points, so it doesn't come as much of a consolation. because with one less evil out front, you got the other evil leading the race. These two Penske positions are going to be filled by rookies in 2023. Some last minute negotiations and contract conflicts. Austin Cindric and Will Power are going to leave the Sylvania Cup Series to continue racing in their respective real life series. And here we go with Will Power taking the lead back on the next lap. We've got some strong contenders for the win here at Pocono. The racing here at Pocono never fails to excite. Newgarden moves up to P2 at the moment. Aaron Rapp himself hasn't seen victory lane in 46 races, so looks like Pocono would be a good opportunity for him to get back into the win column. Got teammates all packed together around this section of the track. Casey Kane, myself, and Kara on the outside line, and then you got the teammates of Jimmy Johnson and Scott Dixon on the inside line as we get green flag pit stops on lap 35. This will be where the pit strategy and gas mileage is really going to play a factor. This race goes caution-free for the entire deal. The early strategy is probably going to cost a lot of drivers. Everyone that's still out there running right now might be able to stretch it a little longer, and minimize having to pit with fewer laps at the end of it. There's drivers out here that can push it to lap 40. They'll be able to stretch it without, well, it looks like everyone's going to come down pit road on lap 36 here, so without a caution, this is definitely going to be a fuel mileage race. It's going to be hard to determine who's got the right strategy for this one. Many times here at Pocono, a driver has ran out of fuel on the last lap and coasted either across the finish line or failed to finish the last lap of the race. So might be, if this goes caution free, I'm sure we'll see something like that. Looks like Willpower makes out off the pits with pretty good time. The rest of us rejoining the field right about where we were running prior to pit stops. Aaron Rapp had pitted a lap earlier and is actually going to inherit the lead from Willpower here. Shangle freight train coming to the front. You got Monty and Tyler running 2 and 3. Seems like perhaps Willpower's having a little more difficulty getting the rubber up to temp here. Haven't fallen back to 5th at the moment. He's about to get passed by Jimmy Johnson if he's not careful. A little bit further back, the teammate to Jimmy with Scott Dixon. They're running nearly identical paint schemes for this race here at Pocono. The only differentiation between the two of them is Jimmy's got the orange numbers and Scott's got the white numbers. Aaron Rapp's actually out to a pretty dominant lead right now, 2.6 seconds out in front of Monty. Austin Cindric now back up into 2nd. Because we got a lot of shuffling for position here in the top 5. One-fifth of the way through the race, lap 40, now on 41. Hey there, Charlie.
Hey there, how's it going?
pretty good.
Alright, so how's this cup race going then? 41 out of 200?
Yep, 200 laps here. We got a few lead changes. Will Powers led most of it. His Penske teammate of Austin Cindric is also led, but currently the number 97 of Aaron Rapp has a 2.5 second lead over second place there.
Oh, by the way, I think you should be happy to know it's not the best finish. But in the end, you qualified second to last, and then you managed to finish P18.
Not bad.
Just
That was
not bad.
progress moving up the chart.
First, actually, but it was the female driver Jane Cole, followed by Scott Kenneth, followed by me, followed by Dave Bonte, followed by Dana Viper, followed by Leon Truman, Jack Stewart, Michael Clark, Tommy Viper, Richard Trent, Sean O'Connor, Howard Mustang, Michael Schmidt, Jay Morgan, I forgot his name, Kozlowski Fenterman, Johnny Denver, Carl Tristan, then followed by you, then Luton DeVille, then Penny Jefferson Jr., then followed by Mike Saddle, followed by Evan Monteith, followed by Devin Williams, who came 23rd.
So yeah, my Cup Series here, this is the final. I consider it the regular season, but I don't move them into a playoff. Instead, the last 12 races is all double points. After this race, everyone is still mathematically alive, but once that first double points race plays out, that's when you'll start to see less points available for each driver out there.
Yeah.
The nice part about that is someone that's had a rough start to the season, if they get hot in the last 12 races, could potentially still work their way up for a good points paying position at the end of the year. Or, you can still win the championship from 25th if everyone else has a lot of bad luck in those last 12 races. Because from the math I did, you can get about 850 points if you have the perfect race and your contenders have the worst race, which everything from 16th on to last place pays 1 point. So you can almost guarantee that there's someone that's going to have a bad race that finishes outside the top 15. And everyone's still mathematically alive for the first double points race in the season. So Will Power has dominated the season, and it's kind of ironic because in real life he is the actual IndyCar championship leader. So that would be an interesting tidbit if my game has a driver champion the same name as the driver champion in real life. He's had 7 or 8 wins in 32 races run this season, so it's his championship to lose at this point. And this is definitely a test for my YouTube live stream. I didn't know what my computer was capable of, and I've been testing the limit each week, testing the limit, keep testing it, and it's finally, I feel confident enough that I can run a full length race I don't expect everyone to tune in and watch it all, but if someone's interested to tune in, it's always going to be up running, so. Because my hopes are for next year to live stream the cup races, which I haven't done that at all this year until now. 42 he must run out of gas, or 80 car, not 42. Let's see what happened here for Clyde Coker. Yep, he simply ran out of fuel, stretched it a little too long. Pocono itself is kind of like a road course, the way that drivers have to tackle it. It's crazy to think that Pocono, being an oval, it's a tri-oval, but it's got a lot of characteristics of a road course, strategy-wise. Austin Cindric's back out front leading again over Jimmy Johnson now in second. There's a lot of separation from the lead pack here to the second pack, about 5.5 seconds back. Must be from the green flag pit stops we're starting to see separation. Your top 6 here have been your front runners for the first 50 laps here. And with that, we're a quarter of the way through the final cut 400 here at Pocono.
How do you do like your leveling up system?
For the trucks, I've done it where they can buy their upgrades. For the ratings in the Cup Series, usually I'll set them at the start of the year, and I'll reevaluate between seasons. I'll usually, it's set, and if I notice there's someone that's just unbelievably like tearing it up, I'll make adjustments to try and level the playing field once in a while, but very rarely. This year I just tried to leave it hands off, and that's kind of where we've got the situation with Will Power dominating. I tried to also make it so that the Fords are all identical, but they're all different from each other. So your Chevys have some strengths, your Fords have their strengths and weaknesses. I've also got a couple other manufacturers out there, like I've got Mercedes this year. Then I've got Jaguar. I've got Honda. I don't actually have Toyota. Got Dodge and BMW. And so with all those different manufacturers I've got them each with their own kind of standalone engine reliability and the rest of those ratings kind of separate from each other. But across that camp of manufacturers, pretty much identical. So there's a couple teams out there that I might take about like a couple ticks off of if they're like the underfunded, lower funding Ford team versus the, you know, like AAA team of Penske or something. .53 laps, still no cautions, no retirees from the race yet. Lando Norris has only made up 2 spots from the back of the field in the Aero McLaren Chevy. Paddle Award teammate is up to 37. Got Justin Roman sitting in 31st at the moment. Kellen Relic in 29th. Greg Forian in 27th. Our 2019 champion of Alexander Rossi sitting in 24th. He's going to be switching over to the Aero McLaren ride to match his real life ride. So he'll be packing up from the Honda camp and heading to the Chevy. We got Colton Herta here in the number 98 Andretti Autosport Honda. Dalton Scott running 19th. John Roman's fallen from his top 15 position back to 18th. And we got Ken Roxon in 16th right now, about to get into the top 15. The Red Bull BMW is going to welcome Ant Meeperson from the USA Truck Series as a full-time contender in the Cup. A big move for Ant, who is a likely champion contender for the championship. It's not sealed yet, but there's still 10 races left in the trucks, and he's got as good a chance as any to win it all. Me and Kara running 7th and 8th right now are equal power JSR Racing Mercedes. My team's going to switch back to Ford next year. We only ran the Mercedes program to get them a start in the Cup Series. And next year they're going to have 2 teams for a total of 4 entries compared to this year where they had 8 entries. The way it worked out, we were just doing development to get the engines ready for the series. So Tyler Shangle Racing will also switch back over to Dodge, where they originally fielded, and my team will be back to Fords in 2023. Toyota's gonna join the fold, and that'll put us at 8 total manufacturers in 2023.
A bit of weird bouncing glitch over there. And they kind of bob into the track. Don't know if that's just like the mod or the track.
Yeah, that's why I was saying yours looks a lot smoother than mine. I think I've got it pretty minimal
It looks
on.
fine to me, but like it's smooth. It's just like there's a weird glitch, and it's probably just due to the age and the mod of the game, the mod.
Yeah.
But like the cars sometimes tend to bob up and down, but that's probably just due to like replay latency and all that.
I know too that Pocono is in real life pretty bumpy track, so it might be a little bit of that too.
Yeah, it's a very old track, isn't it?
Yeah, they haven't repaved the track in nearly 10 years it looks like, so it's been pretty wore down over the years, I'm sure. "60 laps here, the race is getting pretty stretched out. Our lead belonging to Austin Cindric, who's led quite a few laps already in the running.
Yeah, whenever I stream though, I have like well, not stream, record. My microphone just always comes through really quiet.
Huh. What kind of
It's
mic?
probably just something to do with OBS, but
What kind of mic you got?
I have got the Logitech RGB something.
Gotcha. I ended up getting mine was a free headset with my MSI laptop when I bought it. And being free, it's nothing special. It's got, the only thing that's kind of nice though is it's a like headphone jack where it's got the mic and the headphone, or the sound and the mic plug-in. It doesn't work on everything, but I did buy a converter that you can plug those two and then just plug it into a central or whatever the jack, like the regular headphone jack.
Yeah, funny story. When I first bought my wheel, it said next day delivery. So I bought it with my Christmas money. I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna get back into sim racing. I bought it, I set it all up perfectly, but then the plug looked weird. I was like, what the hell is this? Turns out I had ordered it from Italy, and it was a European plug socket. So I had to get my brother's friend to come over, because he's like an electrician, and he had to switch out the head for it.
Wow. Huh.
Luckily, he like let us off for free. So.
But it worked. That worked all right after that.
Oh yeah, it works fine. I've had it for about 3 years now.
That's the Logitech one you got that had that problem, or what was it?
Oh no, the Logic Tech one, I just lost interest.
Oh,
But then, like, literally the same year, I was like, you know what? I want to get a Dragon. So I bought the Thrustmaster TMX.
okay. Yeah, I
I've
actually
got.
have Thrustmaster TMX as well. It's designed as a Xbox steering wheel, but it obviously works just fine with PC. I'll probably end up doing some iRacing tonight since I've got plenty of downtime. Probably won't do any live streaming of it, but I'll just go online and race some iRacing. The last time I raced, I ended up winning a race, but I was running second to the guy, and I had the faster line. I just couldn't get around him because he kept hugging the inside line. Finally, I was trying to run right up on his tail to get a charge on him. Ended up bumping him and spinning him out right across my nose. I didn't get spun out, so I just let off. He wrecked in front of me, and I drove off and won it. So, didn't want to win it that way, but I still win. Especially since I'd never won paved oval on iRacing before, so that was pretty cool. Of course, the guy was bombing me in chat. He's like, "Oh, I hope you feel great about that." It's like, not really. Sorry. I had the faster car though. That's the problem with iRacing, is the initial trenches of starting in the lower classes. You get in with a bunch of people that probably are playing on controllers, or they're not, not very good at sim racing, so it's hard to get out of those trenches because it's all dependent on your driver rating and how clean you drive. It's like, well, if everyone else wrecks into you, that still ticks away from your driver safety rating. I'm lucky to have climbed the ladder up to a D rank like I have. So closing in on lap 70, we'll probably see green flag pit stops again around lap 74 to 76. Maybe sooner than that with some of the drivers on the shorter strategy. Oh, it looks like Rick Quick had some mechanical failure. It just shows his engine gave way on him. Him and the 59 of Howard Schuler both. It looks like Rick Quick is out of the race on lap 67. Simply just blew up on him. There's no caution, so the race continues green. Howard Schuler, on the other hand, he's on pit road still. He's been on there for the past 4 laps. We'll see. Shows that it was an ignition failure for Rick Quick, so. His teammate, on the other hand, Greg Forian, is up to 26th. Hopefully that doesn't spell trouble for his engine here in the other half of the race. Make sure. And sometimes you'll notice that I save at parts of the race. The game itself only saves replays for a certain size, so if you get too long, it won't save the entire replay. So I've had to batch them into parts usually. Road courses will be every hour. For the other tracks, it's usually I do the first hour and then to the finish of the race. It's just so I get all footage recorded. So it's back to a Penske 1-2 with Cindric in front of Will Power. Looks like Aaron Rapp, who is on the short strategies, pit now on lap 70. It's going to rotate around to where he'll have one extra stop from everyone else, basically. When everyone else will be stretching it towards the closing laps of the race, Aaron Rapp will be able to pit and run the remainder of the race on that one last extra pit stop. Of course, if we get a caution, then throw all that out the window. Looks like our leader's coming in on lap 72 here. Keselowski has some significant damage to the front end of his Ford Mustang there. happened within the lap, so he must have made contact. And then when he came down pit road, they removed the front hood on the car. Yep, there you go. Slowing down, he had just ran into the driver in front of him. Repairs were made and they removed the hood off the car. Still caution free for the first 73 laps of this race. Everyone else making their green flag pit stop here. A lot of the cars are looking beat up. Scott Dixon, who is a top 5 contender, got some damage on track somewhere, maybe on pit road here. Yep, so driver coming into their pit stall makes collision with Scott Dixon. Still currently running 5th at the moment, but it looks like it'll shuffle around once they pass start finish line here. He'll be about 15. Fascinating for Aaron Rapp on the short strategy, how much he gains on the rest. He gets, after everything cycles out, he's got a 3.8 second lead on Will Power at the moment. Things kind of level out once the laps get run. His tires wear out sooner than the rest of the guys, and he falls back to running about 4th or 5th. lead at the front starting to shrink back down as Willpower with the fresh tires is going to close in on Aaron Rapp here. Monty Shangle in third, having a solid run here. Pocono. You got Jimmy Johnson and Austin Cindric to round out your top 5. Further back, you got Tyler Shangle and myself running 6th and 7th. And then Liz Shangle running 8th, so the entire Shangle household in the top 10 at the moment. Still has not happened where we've had a Shangle 1, 2, 3, 4. It's been close before, and I doubt it's going to happen here. And you got drivers like Willpower, Cindric, and Rapp, who's all running really strong. Tyler looks like he's going to try to catch up to this lead pack and be back in contention amongst the leaders here. Willpower to the lead here as Aaron Rapp drops back to 5th. Willpower makes short work of that.
I didn't speak there, my Wi-Fi cut out and I didn't even realise.
Haven't missed a whole lot over here. Still pretty standard fare.
Yeah, I'm just uploading the Canada Sprint now. And then later on tonight I'm going to complete day 1 by doing round 2, which is 100 at Bristol.
Nice. Which Bristol track?
The usual oval at night.
So the original one that came with the game?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
By the way, do you have those road? When this is done, can you send me those road courses?
Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
I'll actually compile a few. Well, I think I can just send them over Discord. I'll probably just do that.
Yeah.
But there's a good selection of road courses, and especially how many years I've been playing the game. There's a lot of stuff that you can't find anymore. So I might have some rare finds that you might not know. There might not be any way to get them online anymore. So we have our first caution here. I don't see why the caution come out. Perhaps a debris caution. We'll see where the lights come on here. And we'll scan the whole track for any... It must have been a debris caution, because no driver got sideways. So this will help kind of reset, restack the race here. Yeah, actually there's gonna be the one deal with my series circuit. I try to do 11 of each track type. And so I'll do 11 short tracks, 11 intermediate, 11 super speedway, and 11 road courses. And I'm thinking about maybe cutting it down to 10 apiece next year, just so I don't have as many races to do.
Yeah, that's an extra like 4 races, man. That you have to upload, you have to govern, make sure they go right, no crashes as well. As in, like, crashes and like the game crashing. Crashing in this is awesome.
Yeah.
You're just etching like, oh come on, please just crash, please just crash.
Nice thing about this caution, it might give us an opportunity for some carnage and destruction here.
Loading 23%. Oh my god. It's gonna take forever. Alright, how much space do I have? Okay, enough. Hey, you know with the online races, yeah? I mean the offline races. How do you like do it without like taking up any spots? Or do you have to take up a spot in order to like be in the race?
You have to take up a spot. There's no way to just simply spectate the whole field, so
I think it's annoying that the pace car also takes up a spot as well, if you haven't noticed.
yeah. I don't know if there'd be a way that they'd probably have to totally remodify the entire game's file, but there's nothing that I've seen that you can do something like. There's a lot of mods that they've made though for different things. Wouldn't surprise me if they figured something out. I know for a fact you can get the field up to 46 drivers with some modifying of the game file itself, but then you'd have to go in and edit each track to actually hold 46 drivers in the pit stalls, so there's no good solution to that. Hey there, Al. I guess I'll go by Al Bunch. So yep, this is our first caution in the race at lap 85, 86. Willpower, Austin Cindric, Aaron Rapp have been our top leaders in the race. This caution helps get the rest of the field outside the top 5 closer up again, so we have an opportunity to see some more fighting for position amongst the leaders with some new cars in the mix. Willpower has already won 8 races this year. In the Sylvania Cup Series, we've never had a driver with more than 8 wins, so definite. If Willpower gets one more win, he will secure that record in the Sylvania Cup Series. Very hard when you have someone that dominant every year. We still have 40 cars running. 2 retirees, the 48 of Rick Quick and the 59 of Howard Schuler. Yeah, and like you were asking about the last driver entry, usually I'll just pick a random number, build a car so that I'm not taking up a number of anyone in particular that might be out there. That makes it easy so that, yeah, it would be nice to have 43 cars out there every race actively racing. You see, look at current NASCAR Cup Series, they never have much more than 37 to 39 out on fields, so still 42 is still 2 or 3 more than what the real guys have today.
Just imagine them thinking that a bunch of sim boys laying around in their rooms can get a better experience than what they're doing right now.
Well, I've noticed a lot of the racing that my computer it plays out, you know, sometimes even better than real life races at some of the tracks. A lot of people they hate how the Indianapolis Oval raced for NASCAR, and every race that I run in NR 2003 at Indianapolis has been a gem. So it's like if only the simulation was more of a representative of what real life's product is, that'd be cool. I don't get why the Cup cars struggle so bad at Indy. It's probably the rough texture of the track and the heavy weight of a stock car. It's just a bad combo or something. So as they start piling into turn 1 here, we got a lot of 2 wide and bunching here for the first time in a while. Some jockeying for position amongst the front. Oh, Tyler Shangle 1 lap down in 39th, so he must have had some trouble. He was running 6th the whole time.
Yeah, for this series, I'm literally just putting everybody at max 100, and then like I'll see how it runs because I want everybody to be equal. Because last time there was like that Jane Cole girl was like I don't know 2 seconds in front of in the pace the whole lap, like the whole race.
Okay, so that's what happened to Tyler Shangle. We had pit road accident, something you'll only see in NASCAR Racing 2003, where Lando Norris flips him on pit road there. Were they fighting for the same pit position? Pit stall? What the heck was that all about? No, I think Tyler was trying to come off of his stall. Yeah, it just... the AI did not... You don't see that every day. Took out a prime contender who's now 2 laps down in 40th, 39th place. I have just now cracked into the top 5. Looks like 5th place at the moment.
You know what's crazy? I forgot to actually upgrade you. You were running on stock and still came in front of some of the guys that were boosted.
Dang.
And by boosted, I mean like they had a 100% better qualifying than you and 100% more road course than you. But you still came in the top. That's pretty good.
The one experiment that failed for me was when I set someone's ratings everything 0 to 100. I didn't know what it would do, and basically they are total shit every race. So I'm
Well, yeah,
thinking,
because like everything is kind of randomized at that point. So what you've just done is basically allow it to randomize the thing.
yeah,
So you could have like 100% aggression, but then like or like 10, 15 consistency.
yeah. There's never gonna be a good race with that much variation.
Mic check.
Hey there,
You guys hear me? Hey,
loud and clear.
copy.
Hey, am I allowed to like self promote in any way, like to try and get people into a series?
Yeah.
My truck series AI be like, how about I crash today? Like the 5th time this season.
Hey, Bunch,
Yeah.
would you like to be part of the oh bloody hell, keep on forgetting. The FTCC?
FTCC? What's
Yep.
that?
Fictitious Touring Car Cup.
Yes.
So basically, there are 4 manufacturers. So you've got the Ford GT, you've got the Ford Cobra, the Viper, and the Corvette.
Oh man, the Cobra's so awesome though.
And all you really have to do is rather make your own livery, or you just tell me the brand, tell me the manufacturer, and I'll make a livery for you.
Yeah, I have no experience in graphic design, so you could probably just make the livery for me.
Alright, so, well, what brand are you going for?
Probably since I plan to run it in the, sorry. I'm planning to run it in the Bush League, Penske truck rental.
What, say again?
Penske truck rental.
What? Oh, is that your sponsor?
Yeah, my sponsor, yeah.
Alright, and then do you have a logo for it?
Yeah, I can set it in the general chat, like,
Yeah, please do.
in the voice chat.
What's your number?
Hold on, let me, what numbers are available?
So currently numbers that are taken is 01 103 113 6 13 152 64 43 47 49 4 63 74 76.
Yeah, I'll give you, hold on, I'll give you a photo of, like, what their color scheme is, and pretty much.
Alright.
Save image as...
Meanwhile, the running here in Pocono, we got Shangle running 4, 5, and 6. My mom and dad, and then I'm right there on the inside. Unfortunately,
Wait.
with my brother wrecking earlier, he's 2 laps down in 39th, so still no opportunity for
Did you put your parents in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that with Michael Clark. That's my stepdad.
Smart.
Alright, in
Here
general,
we
did
go.
you say?
General, like, chat for the voice chat.
Alright.
This here's my...
I got the color scheme, so it's like the moving truck that they have, that Penske owns. So it's like their color scheme, so you can get an idea for the reference colors.
So it's yellow with maybe a
light blue,
blue and dark blue stripe.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I would say this is probably my best opportunity I've had all year running up front for a chance to win. Knock on wood.
Yeah, one's like... Sorry, I keep on
Yep,
talking.
knocked on the wood.
Yeah, knock wood. I I probably just jinxed it. My car's gonna blow up next lap, I bet.
You know what,
Yeah.
right?
It's
What
literally my
annoyed
truck AI. It's like,
when
oh, look at me, I'm in the lead. My engine blows up, I hit the wall. Camshaft issues. My piston cracks. So I have to go in the pits and I DNF for like the 1 millionth time of the day.
where the hell is this? Okay, series
It's at Pocono.
TPTCC art.
Nice. I
So
just now moved
running
up to
spot cars, right?
P3. So in case anyone wanted to know, this is the ICR mod by Mystic. It's a really great mod, and shout out to Mystic for such a well-crafted cup car mod. They designed the mod more so to be very versatile, you can basically craft the cars any way you want.
Hold on, I'll be
Whereas
right back. I'm gonna go get a glass of water.
alrighty. That's how I'm able to have BMW, Mercedes, Jaguar, all these different manufacturers, because the chassis is so generic enough that you can make just about anything work. I was able to find most of them, but I had to make the Mercedes and the Jaguar templates from scratch, basically.
Here's a weird fact. Me and Jacob actually live not too far from each other. Like same state and everything.
Yeah, crazy enough, small world, and ended up finding the server on Reddit, right?
Yeah, I live in Othello, so it's like a 15-minute drive where you live, I think.
Hold on, where the hell are the templates for the cars for the GT cars?
I'll be able to send you them after the race here. I think I've got the exact templates that they made for the mod.
But do you know if they'd actually be located in the mod itself?
Not likely. Most of the mods don't actually have accessory files like that.
You're from England, right? Or Great Britain?
Yeah.
I actually went there, 3 years ago. 3 years ago. With my family. Went to
Hmm?
Ireland, Scotland,
Did
England,
you
and
enjoy it?
France. Yeah, it was a fun trip. Funny story about what happened. So we were on a metro in Paris, and so my dad got his phone stolen while we were on the metro. And so we were out by the military museum where Napoleon's tomb is. So we went inside the museum, and we were waiting by the museum once we finished for 3 whole hours. And my dad just gave up on the search for his phone. So it was kind of a mess. But
Jesus
we just ended
Christ.
up heading back in the hotel.
Poor phone. Never to be seen again. You do
Yeah.
realise over here we have this thing called O2 plan that if you want it to, O2 can literally go onto your phone, turn tracker on so they can find who stole your phone or
Yeah,
where it is.
my dad had my dad has this feature on that phone which was like automatically would turn off if it was stolen. And you wouldn't be able to use it.
Yeah, that's what my family nearly did to mine, but then I went to school the next day and this kid called Miguel, he was like, okay, yeah, here, found your phone, you dropped it in science.
Uh, yeah, I just got into school on Thursday.
For me, I'm going back on the 5th of September.
Wow, that's actually not too far from my birthday. It's the 17th. Gonna be 14 this year.
Mine's 30th.
Dang, you're old.
I'm 15. Well, I'm going on to 15.
Oh,
Trust me, 14 years old is not the best stage.
yeah, 13 years kind of sucks.
But when you get to 14, you're gonna like want to kill yourself. I'm not even joking. Being 14 is like Satan and God stomping on your balls while being lit on fire and over a steak rack. It sucks, right? It feels like life is hanging you upside down by your balls,
Pretty much
shaking
it.
you.
Pretty much it feels like your life's been flushed down a toilet.
Exactly. Being 14, okay, so school for starters shoves exams down your throat because I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you guys call it this like the final exam, whatever the hell.
We call it like the ESPA, which is like some
Yeah,
acronym for some
yeah, we have
state test.
SATs, but like, I mean, no, not SATs, GCSEs. But yeah, they basically once you hit 14, they're gonna be shoving that down your throat, saying that if you don't learn this, you're gonna fail, you're gonna not win in life, you're gonna be such a failure and loser. And they like say, and they use this time to like give you extra homework as well, saying, well, oh, you're
Yeah.
gonna need it, otherwise you're gonna fail the test tomorrow. I was like, I don't want to like the test tomorrow, because if I do well in that French test, you're gonna put me in French for my year 10. Honestly, all I've been hearing for the past 3 years is oui. Un des trois baguettes. Je m'appelle un snail.
Ananas. Yeah, like,
I mean, why am I
yeah.
learning the language of people that eat snails?
I had snails in
Love,
France before.
they
It was
eat
okay.
snail sandwiches. It's
We're eating,
grim.
we're eating Gary the snail from SpongeBob.
Exactly.
And
Poor
General
Gary's
Snails.
sitting there, but guess what? No, the French have to exist, don't they?
And also,
You know
they
what? I
put.
actually have a list of why I hate French people. Hold on. Right, so my friend texted me today. Do you agree that France is the worst in Europe? I said yes. Number one, they eat snails. Number two, they speak weird. Number three, we have to learn the language for 3 years. Four, they like white flags way too much. Five, they're scared of out of their pants of Germany. I'm not going to say the word because nah, bad. And then six, they basically base their
Taco Bell's
culture on
here.
bread. And then seven, it's just France.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go eat Taco Bell.
And then your booty hole is gonna not exist. Poor kid. You already know that poor sucker's not gonna come back, and he is just gonna be on the toilet for days on end. I ate English off-brand Taco Bell once, and oh my god, that was not fun. Would not recommend.
Well, shoot, if I do my first live stream and I run this well, maybe I'll just live stream the rest of the cup races this year.
How do you get that up, by the way?
How do I what?
That thing in the top right. How do you get it up?
Oh,
Or is it S?
S. The S, yep, on keyboard, press S to open standings. Spacebar closes the replay heads up.
Yeah.
But yeah, S shows you the standings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at the moment it's Shangle 2, 3, and 4. I'm just really hoping that this goes off without any I got more stuff running in the background than I normally do for a cup stream, since these are so long. 108 laps in so far of 200. Length is at 1 hour and 45 minutes right now. After this race, before my trip to Portland for the IndyCar race, I'm going to have to do some cleanup, free up some space on my laptop here. I'm down to 20 gigs in my main hard drive.
Just delete the older videos that you know you're not gonna need to re-upload. Oh my god. I want to kill myself. Why can't there just be like a reset button for like the opponent settings?
Oh yeah, because you have to. Well, there's an executable. There's an actual application that goes in and edits the ratings, which you can actually copy and paste everything. I'll send you a file too. There's a lot of handy tools. If you look it up, look for N ratings, and it's like NR, but it's N ratings for NASCAR Racing 2003, and it'll when you open the program, it'll look for the main instance of NASCAR Racing 2003 on your computer. It'll actually go and show you all the rosters, and you can go in and tweak each roster's rating for each driver. Nice. And it's me to the lead on lap 111 here with 89 laps to go. Still a lot of racing to go. 89 laps will be at least 2 more pit stops. But it's impressive on equal tires that I'm able to drive around Will Power for the lead here. Gonna need Will Power to have a bad run.
I'm gonna try complete that 100 lap at Bristol, then I'll be heading. It's taking ages to do these bloody cars as well. Put them all at 100. Just make them all speed demons and then...
That might be kind of fun.
Yep. Like their pit crews are going to be moving like little specks of dust because I've set them all at 100 everything. They ain't even hopping over the walls, they're like atoms compressed through the pit wall.
So it's kind of crazy though, in the 10 years that I've been doing this offline series, that there's still a lot of tracks that certain drivers just perform better at. And you think about it, it's kind of accurate to real life because there's a lot of tracks that certain drivers put on their calendar as an opportunity to win each year. And the AI actually has similar tendencies at specific tracks, which I just find amazing.
Almost like they have a mind of their own.
Right? It's kind of crazy.
I mean, technically they do. They are AI. They can make moves by themselves. It's all just limited by a computerized number.
True.
Technically, these cars are able to race as well as normal humans. We just have to set them to be that level, and the computer withholds them from going in anything above that. And without AI, and then without you in the picture, the AI can just go ham. Which it kind of sucks, because usually when you're in there, the AI has like more room for mistakes, and then you can get like huge wrecks. That's cool.
I'm back.
Well, and the AI often don't lift or anything. You're just in the way. They'll plow right through you. Or vice versa. You'll plow right through the AI because they're holding you up.
And there's just no consequence. But when it's AI versus AI, you can actually like feel the thrill of who's gonna win this.
Yep.
Like if there's gonna be a caution last 2 laps or something like that, or if there's gonna be like a huge wreck on the last lap to see, and like some not back marker, but person in the back of the pack could just like screw it all and manage to get first. Which reminds me, I had like a 2-hour-long clip of 150 lap at Daytona in Truck Series, and like they full on were going at it so hard. There was a huge like Dow roll trip, right? He was at the back. He was 30 seconds behind. And then last lap, huge wreck. I saw him go from like 32nd to all the way up into first.
Damn.
Because like everybody in front of him was just crashing, and somehow he wasn't collected.
Wow.
I did not on accident. Try to do something.
Well, that's weird. So you know that Cole Jane that one?
Uh-huh.
She had a really bad thing. Okay, aggression 95, so the fuel and engine would have been working overtime. The consistency was 80 to 85, that's alright. Finishing 75 to 90, that's good. But then qualifying 50 to 65 and they finished, and they got on pole. Road course 90 out of 90, and I know there was 100 out of 100 out there. Short track 60 out of 70, speedway 95, super speedway 100. Vehicle aerodynamics, right, 65 to 80. This woman was pulling off 181 mile an hour turns with only 65 to 80 possibility downforce.
Dang.
Okay, chassis and engine is alright, 90 to 95 like engine, but reliability is only like 65. I mean, come on. Sort of crack-infused fuel was this woman using in her car?
Yeah, that's crazy. She was using illegal substances.
Yeah, I think she was using a bit more than just illegal substances.
And trance moments.
Car full on leveled up, went Super Saiyan. Basically a 50-50% chance of doing okay in qualifying, did the best in qualifying. I'm nearly done making all of these things speed demons as well, so this is going to be fun.
I'm still scratching my head here as to how this race is going to play out, because they go 35 and 35, they're going to have to pit again with 10 laps to go.
I mean, I still need to get my 100 laps done. And his car's probably going to have to wait till after. But it's only 2 races in. I literally like based the stats off of the stepdad as well. Like he had full aggression. Like you should see him on the road. He will swear and say things that no ear should hear.
You should hear my brother on the road.
There is C and T words. There is calling people things that should not be called. But yet they kind of deserve it because they're driving like prats, or they're like 80-year-old women that should not be really legally driving.
Well, that's England for you. Good night, folks. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
At least I can go to my school knowing that I'm safe. I do not need to whip out the Glock if man gets threatened. I just whip out the Chef G.
Yeah, it's the thing I hate about living in the US.
Exactly. A bloody 5-year-old could walk up to a counter and buy a gun and nobody would care unless.
Yeah, also bad healthcare looks expensive.
Oh yeah, and the fact that you guys don't get free healthcare. I mean, to get an injection around there, it's like hundreds of dollars, isn't it?
Sucks. Like, I have to get this shot every week, and whenever I go to the clinic, it's like $75.
Just to get a shot.
Yeah.
I get them free at school.
Yeah, I get like my flu shots free at Walmart.
Hi there, Cammy. I'm just joining our server. I just joined the server a couple minutes ago here. Welcome. This is being live stream on YouTube too, so just forewarning. Ed Dion, add another. Wow, my server has gained a lot of people in the last couple days.
I know.
Probably because when more people find out, they tell their friends about it. They invite them. They probably say, "Hey, do you want to do this thing? It's called offline NR 2003 racing. All you do is sign up for like my team, and then like I give you a car number. He makes the livery, or I make the livery, and then you are good to go."
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting to have like somebody that actually like likes NASCAR. It's not American.
Mhm.
Whenever I went, so yeah, here's a story. So I was in the Southwest National see some family, and so while I was there, I had something that I called a food epiphany. So for breakfast, we had this place called Waffle House. You ever heard of it? It's really good.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah. So I was like, dang, this is the best waffle I ever had.
You can do how much? You can do 500 laps at Bristol
Yep.
in these cars.
Little known fact for NR 2003 is you can only run 512 laps. After that, the game stops counting and the cars keep running circles.
Until they like run out of fuel.
Yep. No, it's crazy. I tried doing what I was going to label a 777-mile race at Las Vegas, and it just so happened to be 518 laps long. I didn't realize until I got to lap 512, the game's not designed to go past lap 512, which I'm assuming must be like a computer square number, like the 64 all the way up to 512. For whatever
Yeah.
reason, it don't go past 512.
And so you just sit there and watch till all the cars run out of gas or blow a tire.
Hold on. Is there a
Blowing
different
engines.
VC? No, there is not. I'm gonna go run my 100 lap race, and if you guys are still on, I'll join back. If you wanna, like watch, I can just invite you to a DM call. All I ask is that you like be semi-quiet.
Here, I'll just create another voice channel.
Oh, thanks. You don't have to announce it or anything. I just want to place the stream if everybody wants to watch.
Yep, that works. That way, if we have one going on one,
Oh,
we can have another one going on the other.
Yeah. Alright.
Well, we are 126 laps in. 127. I am currently P1 on field. If I can pull off victory here, I would be breaking a 3-year drought without a win. So it looks like Kara Carl's cracked her way back into the top 5, running 5th at the moment. Monty Shangle holding on for a 4th, and I'm holding on for 3rd at the moment as the Penske teammates continue to run 1-2. Will Power and Austin Cindric. We've got 64 laps to go, so still another pair of green flag pit stops await all the drivers. So even though you're not in the playoffs, you're still going to be out there running each week in the truck series. You think your truck has a chance at winning any couple of the races out there, Al?
Well, we've pretty much done a great performance in Coca-Cola. We were in the lead for a lot of the race. We almost won, but after a really stupid mistake, the truck went out to the outside and we ended up finishing 3rd, which has been our best finish this season so far. So I'm still optimistic, even though the race hasn't been, or the season hasn't been good to us for the past couple of races. I think we could still get maybe a win.
So this 3rd place, which track was that at where he ended up with the top 3?
Coca-Cola Super Speedway.
Okay, yeah, that was one of your best opportunities at a win this season, was at Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
And there's definitely going to be opportunities for Busch League, and the Cup's going to be pretty full up for next year, but if things happen where a driver can't fulfill their duty in a cup ride, you could always get a call up for Cup race sometime in 2023 as well. So that's always an opportunity.
Very true. Very true. We did really good at the beginning of the season. Mid-season hasn't been that good, but we did have some glimmers of get outdoor. But for multiple races, we pretty much wrecked out, blown an engine.
Yeah, for his latest start, he ended up missing the first 3 races of the season, but still 22nd in the points even after missing. You're beating a bunch of drivers that have started every race, so.
Yeah, I've been pretty much clawing my way up to the 15th.
And the points will remain active too, so you could still work your way into the top 5 in the point standings. You just can't end up in the top 3 at the end of the year. That'll be secured for the final 3 at the playoffs. But whenever someone gets knocked out, their position will fall back on where they're running in the points. So you're actively still able to get a top 5 in the point standings, and who knows, you might end up going on a tear and winning a couple races. So
yeah, there probably is some hope. We'll just have to see in the near future.
It's crazy in the trucks. We've had 16 races and 14 different winners. I didn't even expect that this year. We only had our first round of the playoffs will be the top 12. And so 2 drivers, even though they had a win, are not guaranteed a playoff position because we had 14 winners fighting for 12 spots, which I think is simply crazy. There's a
Yep.
lot of parity for sure. It's a bummer for a lot of drivers that did have a good season without a win that they have lost their opportunity to fight for a championship. You got drivers like Krista Cower, Braden Hunt, Nathan Morgan, and Atlee Weiss who still sit in the top 12, but unfortunately they didn't have a win to get in.
Yeah, they've had good performances out on the track. A lot of them have, but they haven't really been able to secure a win at all this season.
Yeah, it's going to work out that the playoff race, the first one for the trucks, will actually be the day after the Othello Demo Derby.
Oh, I went there like years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually went to the rodeo last year for my birthday, since the fair ends on my birthday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was there with some friends.
Cool, cool.
Mhm. Yeah, some of my friends go to the demo derby. My friends from school. I haven't been there in years, so it's interesting because I know my dad has some friends that go to the that are demo derby drivers.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, maybe that could get me some car experience, because when I'm an adult, I pretty much want to go to NASCAR Technical Institute, since being a driver is just too dang expensive.
Yeah, it's hard in Washington finding
Yeah,
opportunities to get into racing here. I've said it many times before that I'd have to move to Charlotte or Indianapolis if I wanted an opportunity in a racing career.
in this rock, it's just pretty much purgatory. Some drivers get out of here, like Casey Kane, Greg Biffle. They're from here.
Yep. And you also had Chad Little a little
Yeah,
bit
Chad
further
Little.
back. Derek
He's
Cope, who
from Cam.
actually
Yeah,
Derek
Derek
Cope,
Pope.
yep, won the Daytona 500. So that was
1990. Yeah.
a cool one.
They're
It's been
probably
a
like, I think the 4 NASCAR drivers I know from here.
It's kind of neat that we've got someone like Brittany Zamora right now from Kennewick that's trying to make it in racing.
Have you ever been to Fast Track in Kennewick?
I have not. Is that an indoor kart track or is that?
It's an outdoor like road course. There's also one out by, I think in Richland.
I've been to the one in
Uh,
Richland out by Horn
dirt track.
Rapids, or
Yeah,
that might have
yeah, the
been
dirt track one.
there's the
Yeah,
dirt like the motorcycle track there at Horn Rapids, and then there's actually a go-kart track there. It's a paved one.
oh, yeah. The only go-kart tracks I've been to was like a paved road circuit and a dirt track.
Cool.
Yeah. So it's in like the dirt track one is indoor, so that was pretty cool. It's a fun experience. So I've really had a. I actually do plan to probably work for Team Penske when I'm an adult. I want to move to Pocono.
Weren't you saying your dad's got ins with Penske
No, my uncle.
or your uncle? Okay,
Yeah.
I remember you
just knows.
mentioned that.
Yeah. He just knows Roger. Because one of his friends is married to Roger's daughter.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's why I keep Penske. Penske is a team in my series. I've always been a fan of Penske racing and IndyCar.
Yeah.
With him
I'm
buying IndyCar, I always thought that was cool.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of Joseph Newgarden because of the whole pandemic thing, so I watched his streams online.
Is that the...
IndyCar driver for Penske.
Yeah, no, I know, but the streams that he does, that's not the Bus Boys, is it? Or that's someone else?
I think that's somebody else.
Oh, Bus Bros. Oh, but Joseph Newgarden was on Bus Bros once. Scott McLaughlin and Joseph Newgarden. I guess if you hadn't heard about that, now you know. There is a, they do their own little kind of reality, I guess, like TV series, not TV, more like a, made for the internet series called Bus Bros.
Hmm.
And I'm sure it's them, on their tour bus or travel bus getting from track to track, just being
Yeah,
themselves.
they're coach.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep hearing
Actually,
people talking about Colton Herta getting to Formula One, but I personally feel Joseph Newgarden would be a better candidate.
yeah. I think Penske should definitely go back to Formula One.
Yeah. It's a big investment, that's for sure, and I'm
Yeah, I
sure.
know. Penske has their own like Formula One. I'm not Formula One. Formula E team, owned by Roger's son Jay.
Oh, okay.
Or
So
well, it's like a joint effort with like Dragon something. I know Antonio Giovinazzi drives for them in
huh.
Formula E.
That's one thing I don't think I've watched a race of is Formula E.
Yeah, I've never watched an IndyCar race before, but since I have cousins that live in Nashville, last year they went to the Nashville street race for IndyCar,
Cool.
and they got to beat Jimmy Johnson, so that was pretty cool.
When I'm going to Portland this coming week, I'm gonna take my Jimmy Johnson diecast and hopefully get it signed by Jimmy.
Oh man, that'd be awesome! Like one of his NASCAR paint schemes.
Yep, it's his 2003, I believe, diecast, and I found it online. It was an already signed diecast, but it's signed by Chad Knaus. So it'll have both him and his crew chief having signed it.
Yeah, his old crew chief.
I
That's
just
interesting.
hope the opportunity presents itself. I'll have well, that's probably a good idea. I probably should have put a Sharpie with it so that in case he doesn't have one, I've got a fresh Sharpie. That's one
Yeah.
thing that drives me crazy about signatures is if they have an old wore out Sharpie, the signature looks wore out.
Yeah, probably the only NASCAR driver I really met was Bobby Hillin.
Okay.
I actually have a diecast of his Busch Series car.
Did you meet
2000.
him? When did you meet him?
It's complicated. So my dad's side, my dad's cousin, her ex-husband had a cousin which was Bobby. So I met him on the phone.
Huh.
Yeah.
Definitely
pretty cool.
small world.
I know, right?
The one thing that's been neat about my trips to Portland is I've never directly, held a conversation with any of the drivers, but I'm always within, like 5 feet of a driver or so, because they're all around the paddock there. You can go on the paddock, and I was standing from here to, the other side of the fence with Mike, Mario Andretti, and a couple other drivers and stuff where it's like he could have gave him a high five from where they were standing.
Yeah. You know, so my grief counselor, Tom, he actually, Tom, he actually, played football because he went to high school with Tom Sneva.
Cool.
Yeah. Which is another, like, one of the only, drivers from Washington that actually got out of that crapshoot.
Well, and Sneva's their big name. A lot of them raced in. Yeah.
USAC.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the other Snevas. Yeah, because Tom Sneva was in just about everything.
Yeah, he did a couple of starts in NASCAR. He won the Indy 500. Won like 3 USAC championships. And played football with my grief counselor.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a weird dream I've had to pretty much be a NASCAR driver since I got into the sport when I was in kindergarten. But now, since it's just too damn expensive, I've just decided to go with a race mechanic. Like, I at least had some success in Bandolero cars.
True. Well, and you get contacts and information that's gonna lead to more opportunities for other things in the future. So
Yeah, that's what happened to Lewis Hamilton. He had like some autograph book, and he met the owner of McLaren,
wow.
Ron Dennis. And so when Lewis was actually my age, he signed up for the McLaren Junior Academy.
Oh no, we just had
Oh yeah, I
utter
see.
carnage. Oh no, what the hell happened? So we had a car stalled. Paddle Award just ran out of gas, all as they've been doing. Leader ran into him. I got ran into from behind.
There's also willpower involved.
Seriously. Nope, that's NASCAR Racing 2003 at its craziest. I think my damage will be minimal, hopefully. They wouldn't retire me after getting a smushed rear end, I hope.
Yeah, we're probably just gonna get a chainsaw and just cut it off. Probably repair it with flex tape.
Jimmy Johnson's retired, so that's a huge contender out of the race. The 42. Okay, good. The tires came up. That means they're going to repair my damage. I'm probably going to lose a lot of ground here, though. They'll take a long time to do repairs on the car. 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. There we go. Losing 1, 2.
I'm still mad that Kimi Räikkönen.
Yeah, it was a bummer that he didn't have a better finish. They got in that wreck there.
Yeah, I know in his first start he did in the Truck Series, 2011, he did really good.
And I think he had a couple starts in the trucks, right?
No, he just had one.
Just one?
Yeah, same for the Xfinity Series.
Okay. It'd be cool if he had another opportunity to race in the Cup Series again.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see who else is going to drive that 91 car. If Daniel Ricciardo can't find a spot, maybe he could. I don't know.
It was kind of cool seeing Daniel Kvyat out there too.
Yeah, Daniel Kvyat. That's pretty awesome to see him. Still mad that he was replaced by Yuki Tsunoda.
And Sonoda really hasn't lit the place on fire.
Yeah, with the AlphaTauri team.
Well, I heard that AlphaTauri's looking towards securing Colton Herta as a reserve driver. So, I don't know.
Interesting.
A lot of, and on the thing, Pato O'Ward was part of the Red Bull program, and then he got dropped, and then McLaren came and swooped him up.
And yeah, took him to IndyCar.
And I still don't know what the Alex Palou saga is going to involve, because I guess Ganassi's suing him for contract
Because
breach, and
whole can of worms.
yeah.
Yep. And Ricardo might not be able to get a seat to Formula 1 next year with the whole Piastri incident. But I'm not sure if he's gonna go to. I doubt he's gonna go to IndyCar or Formula E.
He hasn't
already-
shown much interest in either of them, really.
Yeah, he has shown some interest in NASCAR, like what happened at a circuit at Coda. I think last year, where he drove one of Dale Sr.'s old cars.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that.
So that's kind of why I think he could go to the 91 car, maybe part-time next year. But I think we'll just have to wait and see.
True. Hopefully there might be opportunities for more like dirt drivers too. If someone like World of Outlaws with Sheldon Haudenschild, or I don't know, that would be something you could see. Kyle Larson would open up like a seat for a driver maybe. He's owned, or at least he's been part owner for World of Outlaws sprint cars before too.
Yeah.
So many of these drivers come up through dirt. It even surprised Dale Jr. because he was like, I don't get it, but all these drivers are coming up through dirt. And the way Dale Jr. was raised, everyone's supposed to come up on the local short tracks.
Yeah. It's like the new local short track.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, speaking of Dale Jr., are you excited to see him make an appearance at North Wilkesboro in the Sundrop car?
Oh, he's going to be racing there in
Yeah, on the 31st.
Cool. Are they going to televise the return to Wilkesboro?
I don't know.
But he'll be out there in a car, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, throw back to his old late model.
Well,
The paint looks awesome.
Looks like my car's not terribly damaged. I'm still running up front here. Looks like it's been scrunched up. Everything, it seems to go, when things are going my way, there's always something that tries to nab it from me. And of course, I jinxed it, saying knock on wood, but it's too late. I think we're going to get another wreck here. They look bunched up there behind me.
Could be a somewhat big pileup.
I just want to stay in the top 5 here. I don't think I'm going to be able to hold those cars with cleaner cars. Are going to pass me like a freight train.
Oh yeah, luckily I had noise suppression on, or else I could have heard my mom doing some phone call thing.
Looks like Kellen Relic's going to crack into the top 10 here. Still have 40 laps to go. That was a very slow turn there, down turn 3. Meantime, Aaron Rapp's out front leading in the number 97 John Deere entry. And my damage is just too much to muster.
Butter.
Youch. Drop back to 10th almost in 2 laps.
Something's wrong, I can feel it.
I'm gonna get passed again here by the next car in line. Yep. Who knew their rear end damage would cause such
Bad
a
effect.
well, downforce, I guess. You're not as much downforce, so the car's not as good pace. Nope, I do believe though that there's a lot of luck involved in this, that I have not had any good luck for 3 years now. Just seems like I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time. Crazy.
Yeah. I actually used to be in the NASCAR Mino until about probably last year because I had some pretty heated issue with this one guy, so I pretty much got banned. I asked why I was banned and I got banned again, so
What was the NASCAR Amino?
yeah.
Is that
So
a
I used to be,
Discord channel or
no, it's have you ever heard of the app Amino?
Amino? No.
Oh, it's like some app which you can find people with common interests.
Oh,
I
okay.
used to join. I used to be a part of that, and so while I was there, I used to be a part of their league, the Miller Lite Cup Series. So it was like an NR 2003 simulation series.
Okay.
I think we could actually get some advice from them. They pretty much like make the video, then they edit it, then they do like a premiere of it, and they add commercials. So we're on caution break, so it's pretty smart.
Huh.
It suggest commercials, all that. And so I had pretty bad luck when I was racing there. Given some of the best equipment, I was in pretty bad. I was pretty bad.
Well, in the meantime, leader is my girlfriend in the 21 car, so at least if I can't win, my team car might be able to.
Oh, girlfriend. I'm too much of a...
You're still young. There's no hurry. Yeah. There's no rush.
Alright, I'm finished.
Well, my bad luck came out and I ended up getting bunched up in a wreck, so I've dropped all the way outside the top 15.
How do you always get wrecks? Is there like a mod that you install to make him a bit more ruthless?
It's bad luck. Well, yeah, just shit luck for the most part. The game actually, what happened was the car ran out of gas and the AI didn't know how to go around it because they were trying to come down pit road. So they just ran into the car that was out of gas, which was mildly infuriating. It took out 2 liters and it definitely crippled my car. I'm all the way back to 20th now. So yeah, you know, it was just more of the same for my driver.
Well, at least your driver did better in my series.
Where did I finish?
4th.
Heck yeah. I was on
Whoa.
par for a top 5 here. Now it's all kind of jumbled up. Will Power still top 10, running 7th at the moment. 35 laps to go.
Kind of weird having someone named Will Power.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like naming somebody Chris P. Bacon. I got it from some overstock commercials on TV.
Here's one of the fascinating things right here. I put my girlfriend, who's leading this race, in exactly identical equipment as me. And she's already won 1 race this season. So there's really no reason I shouldn't be contending in the
Is your
same...
girlfriend into NASCAR?
I've kind of gotten her into it. She's not as into it as me, but she'll tolerate it. She'll follow along and kind of start to pick her favorites and stuff. So
Bro, let me go to America. I swear to God, women don't even have taste over here. All they crave in life is nails that are longer than the Empire State Building. I'm not
Yeah, and
even
all the
joking.
guys
It's
are...
like portable knives on the end of their fingers.
Yeah.
No wonder
And
they're so
then,
good in the kitchen. They just have to whack their hand on everything.
yeah, and then all the guys are like into soccer. I mean football.
I mean,
And
football
they're
is
all
the
like,
correct word for it.
yeah, and they're all like 40-year-olds in a Bristol pub, like, ah, like screaming their heads off.
Yeah, I don't even follow football. I don't like it. It's boring.
Yeah, also British football fans are pretty much notorious to be toxic.
Oh, we're crazy. Football fans in the UK are just crazy.
Yeah, from what I've heard.
So yeah, no, I have my own little AI social experiment going on, and given another driver the exact same identical ratings as me, and it's just that my car has worst, most terrible luck of everyone else out there. That's what it chalks up to for the most part.
Wait, how do you get volume on this, by the way?
Volume on the game.
Yeah, while streaming, because, like, for me, it doesn't allow me to stream it as a window. That's because I chose to run it not as a window. You do realise that probably could be why you aren't getting as smooth.
True. The only thing I know is if I have it in full screen mode, it'll crash more often. Since I've changed it to window mode, I'm able to...
Oh, you're able to run more, but it just doesn't run as smooth.
Yeah, and I can tab in and out. Very rarely does it crash, but I tried to avoid tabbing out altogether because usually as soon as you tab out, the game will crash.
Yeah. Mods or not.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the cart thing. I forgot to tell you. There's just no way that it works. There must be like I said earlier. There just must be something like corrupt in there that just makes them crash when a file is put under load.
So it's just botched altogether.
I mean, to be honest, cart is just a different name for IndyCar.
Yeah, no, that's the original. It was USAC and then it was CART and then IndyCar.
Yeah.
IRL at one point. The whole SWAT, the break apart was a headache.
Yeah.
That was a step backward for their sport. That was, and it ended up killing CART. CART was actually what you see IndyCar today, back then in the day. my Portland Grand Prix I'm going to, they used to run it part of the kart schedule, and the last race that they hosted there was in 2007 when IRL and kart finally finished the resolve and kart disappeared and IndyCar became the remains of it all.
Reunified.
Basically, you're telling me that your country can't even stay away from companies having their own civil wars.
Yeah, no, for the most part.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. First, mechanical and healthcare.
It all
Which still
started
getting
with
beaten up.
the
No.
owner of IndyCar and the owner of the Indianapolis racetrack wanted to try and imitate NASCAR. And so his idea was, we're going to start our own series and it's going to be strictly ovals with open wheel cars. Which in one, that's a terrible idea in the first place because safety and the logistics of it all just seemed unusual. Well, for whatever reason, it worked for a while, but CART couldn't exist on their own once, all the funding from the big money from their Indianapolis 500, they were barred from even going there and racing the Indy 500. CART was cut from the schedule, and it became the IRL. So CART struggled and struggled along until they finally had to file for bankruptcy, and it ended up the wrong end of the whole deal ended up winning the whole deal. Eventually IRL started to kind of casually step away from the strictly oval and go back to a mix of road course and street circuit. And I think today you still see it, that they're struggling with the aftermath of the whole split back in the 90s, that they're finally starting to repair a lot of that. IndyCar's image is getting back, they're starting to grow in a positive direction again. At least that's what I've seen. But yeah, no, the Portland Grand Prix, they didn't hold it from 2007 until 2018, which I've attended the Portland Grand Prix every year from 2018 to, I'll be there again this year in just a week. It's really the closest venue for like a international circuit like NASCAR or IndyCar that I can actually go watch close to where I live. Otherwise, I'd have to hop on a plane to go to Vegas or Arizona or California. Ugh, if only not California, though. I just stay away from there.
Yeah.
Honestly, let's be honest, NASCAR's kind of dying. I love the sport for what it is, but the main reason people came was to see somebody get hurt. Let's be honest, because all everybody was on the edge of their seats for, was because everybody was on that track had the same chance of dying, getting seriously injured, snapping their neck, breaking their back, whatever.
Yeah, I do know.
But like now that they've made it safer, people have just gone like, well, okay, you've made it safer, but like, you've just lost yourself the entire goddamn.
The wow factor of it,
Exactly. And they say, so what would you do? Just let us have the drivers just run these ridiculously fast cars around stupidly long circuits and blazing about 210 miles an hour. I mean, to be honest, that was probably more safe. Because now they aren't just so packed up. The last death to be caused in NASCAR was because of quote unquote safety. Because the restrictor plate didn't allow him to pull away from any cars quick enough. It didn't allow him to react quick enough because he didn't have the speed to regain himself. And so he lost it, and then obviously we all know what happened in turn 4. him in the Skittles car.
Yeah.
People came to see people die. That's how vintage F1 became so popular. People were just obsessed with how these men could just get in a car that they knew was basically a little aluminium box with oil strapped into it.
And I know I'm gonna
And
butcher their name, but I find it amazing that Jock and Rint wins the championship even after he died,
mhm,
which was that's just unheard of. And the guy he had enough points secured. He ended up dying in a wreck, one of the races prior to the final races of the season, and his wife had to accept the championship trophy because he was no longer alive.
mhm.
It was just crazy.
And then like another thing was that people just thought it was crazy how these people could just accept it. Like, okay, yeah, and what? I'm going into a bloody tin sausage that's been loaded with highly flammable fuel and coolant that is sitting right behind me on my back in an aluminium highly flammable metallic casing around it to increase the literal V8 sat 2 inches away from my head. I'm fine with that. It's just normal. And people thought that what they were saying was just crazy, but and then I also guess there's another part about people associating with associating those who like racing sport nowadays to just have daddy's money or whatever. Because let's be honest, it is. If you don't have any sort of higher social status, you ain't getting into motorsport.
No.
If you're not,
No.
yeah, if you're not like the son of Bill Gates.
Like you back when like you could get into go-karting easily, like, and then hopefully claw your way into Formula Ford or Formula 3.
Or like the rum runners.
Exactly. Like what you guys call the mini things. What are those little mini things? Kind of like mini dirt things.
Midgets or the like sprints.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the midgets, aren't those like literally midget NASCARs?
They're wingless, like they're sprint cars basically.
But they're smaller and they don't have any.
They have a roll cage. They're like a go-kart with a roll cage basically.
It's basically a buggy go-kart that they race in ovals for ages.
Yep.
Alright.
With asphalt and dirt. Yeah, hopefully when I'm pretty much an adult, pretty much, if I have the money, I definitely buy, like, definitely
What
a race car.
what circuit is this? Well, what oval?
Pocono. Just
Is this where you're going?
no, Portland will be where I'm going. Portland's a 2.5 mile road course. Little road circuit in Portland. It's kind of neat during the off season. They'll use it as a swap meet. They'll have vendors there selling like a yard sale for auto parts and stuff. Swap meet. They're at the road course. It's kind of cool. But yeah, it's a full purpose racetrack, and I've used the Portland racetrack in my game before too.
You know what I think NASCAR should do? Bring back the Goodies Dash.
Bring back what?
The Dash series.
The Dash series.
Was that a like an offset of the Xfinity series, or?
Yeah, it's like a pretty much was like with Arca. One of those feeder series.
Oh yeah, the Dash series. It was like old, not I think it ran from like late 80s to early 90s, and it was kind of a substitute for Xfinity series. It only ran for a bit, and I think it turned into the Sportsman series, and then it got discontinued.
Yeah, I really like the sound of the V6s. Those are pretty cool. But definitely what NASCAR should do.
NASCAR runs V8s, right?
Yeah.
They gotta bring back the X pipes.
They gotta remove the restrictor plates.
Yeah. And they need to stop doing stage racing and the playoffs and any championships that'll.
Can't they just like run it like old, like oh, this guy like won 15 races ago and he's been doing appallingly, but we're still gonna give him a shot because he just won 15 races ago, and he's done nothing but fail.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Sounds alright to me.
Everyone gets a participation ribbon or a participation trophy.
I don't know about you, but my sister's my mother, and I don't even know if I don't have a brother. So I'm just gonna give this old geezer some sort of, I don't know, participation ribbon. Here you go, Stan. Slap it in your forehead. Yeah, you like that, don't you?
Here's a participation trophy. You're automatically
Participation.
Yeah, you're automatically.
No. It's participation. Participation. Pretty simple, you redneck.
Yeah.
Goddamn hillbilly son of a.
Here's a spot in the playoffs for no reason, even though you wrecked out like every other race. Freaking.
Bro, whoever actually thought of the idea of the playoffs, I hope they like die from. I hope they like consume and breathe an old 51-year-old woman's farts and just inhale all the dead skin cells and just die.
Yeah, NASCAR playoffs need to go. I'm fine with other playoffs like American football playoffs, baseball playoffs. I'm fine with
It's because it's not NASCAR!
Just crown a regular championship. Like Formula 1 or IndyCar.
Exactly.
No, thanks to an idiot right in France. He was like, no, let's add a 16 driver field. And also completely ruin NASCAR racing.
Well, and I heard Harvick was talking about that they need to shorten the races because the stage racing right now tends to take too long, and that was one thing I did not want to hear. I was like, I don't want the races shorter instead of catering to the short attention span of your casual fan that, you know, if there's not enough action, they'll tune out anyways. You don't want to cater to that fan because they're not the ones that are going to be spending, well, and it's all about money at the end of the day. That's really all it is, but yeah.
Mr. Krabs.
It's not the answer. You're going to be chasing off diehard fans that have been in it forever just to chase the casual fan that might be there for half a season.
Not the diehards that are like been watching it since they were kids in the 70s.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been watching the sport for about 10 years.
The first ever thing I went to motorsport-wise was a hill climb.
Never been to any professional.
And it was like a bunch of gimmick cars. And like there was Lightning McQueen there. Hell, I still even have a picture of him having signed.
Was this like at Goodwood or was it a different hill climb?
It was it was some sort of like weird. All of them had like drag-ish sort of like sled ups, but they had huge wings and just you could tell that there was like so much downforce. I didn't understand this at the time. I was like 4 years old, but like I still have the signature signed by him, and it says like from Lightning McQueen or whatever, because
Cool.
that's what that's what the guy was guy's car was modified to be, and yeah and there was like the Mario Kart like turtle witch looking thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, there was that on his bike, and then it was like a drag bike, and like thing was so loud, and it was like 12 feet long. It was huge.
yeah, I've never been to any professional level racing.
And then there was like this weird event going on in like I can't remember where. I want to say Legoland. And then when we went there, there's this like weird oval track there where you can go race a Formula One, like a retro Formula One car on it. Like I'm talking like a real thing. There is like safety measures, like speed restrictors, so you can only go about 90 miles an hour, but it is fun, like really fun.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't go to any professional races because the tickets are just expensive.
Do you have to brake for in Pocono?
There's usually shifting, up and down shifting. The second turn, so right here I'll kind of give a breakdown. Especially here on this long front straight, you have a lot of momentum. You'll have to slow it down from 190 and you give it a lot of brake right there to get it down to about 140. And you can kind of maintain 140 around turn 1 there. This back straight's pretty lengthy as well, not as long as the front stretch. This one you can kind of keep it held open a little bit more. You don't have to let off nearly as much. Even though the AI lets way off, usually you can kind of keep it flat through there. Just kind of let off the throttle. Don't brake necessarily. And this one's the toughest turn. Turn 3 is always a pain in the butt. I've never had much luck racing at Pocono when it comes to turn 3. Usually I'm pushing or it's tight there in turn 3. It's weird. I think the race is kind of trying to play out like a gas mileage race right now. We still have a couple drivers that have stayed out this whole time up front. I don't believe they'll be able to make it 10 more laps, so they're going to have to pit here in the next couple laps. This group here is pitting. Yeah, at least I'll be able to finish the race.
I recently just finished watching music on. Pretty good movie. Funny, I watched it on the airplane.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Got ran into there.
Design me a paint scheme sometime, Jacob. or the Bush League.
Let's look at some mods that I can install. British touring car, thank you.
British.
Heck yeah, I think Kellen's gonna be at P3 right now. Well, and that's why you run a full distance race. If everyone gets through the carnage and other mishaps and stuff, there's going to be someone that doesn't, pulls off some, upsets here. Definitely, I think the one upset here would be Kellen Relic in third. He hasn't had much for top 5 runs this season, so this will be a huge break for him. Still 8 laps to go, and he's only 2.5 seconds back the lead, so he could potentially still find a way. He's the only driver, the only Jaguar out there on track. There's only one Jaguar entry in the series, so he's kind of fighting an uphill battle with it'd be almost the equivalent of the time that IndyCar tried to bring Lotus aboard. That was a disaster, to say the least. But I keep Jaguar in the series, hoping that it'll kind of surprise you. Most people don't know, but Jaguar back in the 1970s is actually noted with winning a NASCAR Cup race.
Huh?
Really.
Say what?
Jaguar has won a NASCAR Cup race.
Jaguar, the car company.
Jaguar, the car company.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I remember that story.
Little fun fact. 1954, racing at the Linden Airport in New Jersey, a 43-car field produced 3 NASCAR milestones. 1, it was NASCAR's first road race. 2, Keller's win in the number 4 Jaguar XK120 fixed head coupe remains the only import win in NASCAR's major series until Toyota came aboard, debatably. But yeah, no. Back in 1954, there was a bunch of foreign makes and models out there racing on a makeshift road course at a airport in New Jersey. And the victory went to a Jaguar XK120. So it'd be amazing if something like that ever came about, but I doubt there's not enough foreign appeal yet for NASCAR to actually justify companies such as that to make a bid with NASCAR. I don't see it in the near future, probably not in my lifetime. I don't see where they're actually catching the lead 2 up front here. These 2 could still have troubles in the closing 5 laps. Aaron Rapp is sitting on a 47 race winless streak, so this will erase another driver's winless streak of more than 40 races. Ken Roxon sitting second to him also has a lengthy winless streak all the way back to Ken Roxon is 142 race winless streak, so he's right in the same ballpark as me with that department. Looks like Will Power got up to fourth here. This group, they're not working together, so they're only losing the leaders even more. Looks like Kellen ended up with some damage on his car earlier in the race. He's been running up here with that damage on cars, so he's making the best out of what he's got left of that Jaguar.
How many to go?
2 and the white flag, so 3 laps to go. Lap 199 of 200, and doesn't look like there's going to be anyone with much of a shot for the lead 2 up front. Aaron Rapp's kind of walking away with this at the moment. Aaron Rapp was our 2020 champ, our COVID champion in the Sylvania Cup Series. When everything else stopped racing, these guys kept going. White flag for Aaron Rapp. One more lap around the Pocono racetrack here. It's looking like Kellen might be able to secure a top 5, which will be his second top 5 this season. It's been a rough season for Kellen, but momentum's definitely a good thing. Getting that momentum rolling, he might be able to rack up a couple more top 5s. Kara Carl's going to come home with a solid top 10, it looks like. Joseph Newgarden as well in the top 10. Casey Kane, looks like John Roman will be your finishing 15th, top 15 driver. Me and a bunch of other drivers wound up losing all the ground. My car significantly damaged. I'm going to come home 30th. And it's Aaron Rapp with the win. Second, Roxon. Third, Rocky. Fourth, Will Power. And fifth, Kellen Relic. Alexander Rossi, Alan Taylor, Kara Carl, Larry Lusk, and Joseph Newgarden. It's going to be Larry Lusk's last season in the Sylvania Cup Series. He's going to retire and hang up the hat. He's had numerous wins in this 91. I'm not certain if anyone's going to actually take over that position at Tyler Schengel Racing in 2022. 23, my bad.
I'm just kidding. I'm on a new team.
The finishing results of this race wouldn't really show how the initial first half of it went. Your dominant driver was definitely the number 1 of Austin Cindric, along with the number 12 of Will Power, who still managed to come home in 4th today. Lap traffic and a car that ran out of gas actually caused damage to top contenders. Jimmy Johnson went out with damage. I was doing good, running top 5 all day. Tyler Schengel ended up upside down in the pit lane, so there's a lot of drivers that were doing good, just unfortunate circumstances changed the outcome of this race. The rest of the races this season will all be double points in the Cup Series. I might try to live stream a couple of the not so lengthy Cup races. I'll try to pick and choose which ones will be the best racing. This usually Pocono is always a good race, and it, apart from some of the NASCAR Racing 2003 carnage that wouldn't happen in real life, it was still a decent race. So there's only 12 races, and it's definitely looking like Will Power's got the championship in his hands. 32 part 3. Thanks for everyone that's tuned in and out throughout the broadcast. I know this was a lengthy one, and I'm hoping for the Cup Series next year to have at least a little bit more broadcast friendly length, so they're not, it gives me an opportunity to not have so much empty air in between each lap. So this will put us at basically a 2-week break for everyone in the trucks, the Busch, and the Cup. Won't see any more racing until September 15th. So thanks again, everyone. This is Jakester signing out.